What's up, Star Trek fans? Some people would say, why are you not doing wrestling talk tonight when you have a channel, 70,000 subscribers? Instead, you're talking about Star Trek on a brand new channel with 300 subs. So I want you guys to know, like, what I'm sacrificing for you right now. I'm just kidding. I really quickly wanted to do a recap of episode 1. Just very quickly go over, just again, everything. If you haven't seen all my videos, then it is what it is. Go back and watch my videos if you can. But if not, here we go. I just want to give my rating for the first episode officially so that I can give one of these every single week during every episode. Um, and I want to say, one of the reasons why I always like Star Trek: The Next Generation, and none of this is like it. This is more like a movie than Next Gen Season 8. I've still seen people calling it Season 8 when I really feel more like this is a continuation of the movies, not Season 8. So I just again want to say that, Episode 1 has gotten, I think, better every watch. If that makes any sense, I am shocked by that because I don't think I think it's starting to dwindle a bit because I'm overwatching it now. I mean, I'm on view number 8 because I'm starved that much for Star Trek, and when I see something that's actually pretty good out of Star Trek, I get super excited. It's like when I used to see Picard's logo on the Star Trek lineup, it used to look bizarre to me. But now that new logo right there, I don't know, it just looks good to me. Looks disgusting next to Star Trek Discovery, but that looks good to me. But my mother told me that if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. But I just I am a scumbag, and I can't help it. And unfortunately, this is the story of my life. I've always loved Star Trek because Star Trek's always there for me. I feel like other people, eventually turn their backs on me at some point or another. You know what I mean? And that's got to be my fault, I'm always making people upset or pushing people away somehow. I'm still doing it right now to this day. I always make a mistake or I go too far or I do something that's inappropriate or, that sort of thing. It's been my whole life, I think. So here I am sitting here. At least my children, my 3 kids kind of have to like me, but But here I am sitting here with you guys. Hey, Joe, you got a whole recording studio there. Why don't you use the better microphone? Okay. I just thought of that. Why not use the better mic? So, season 1 starts off beautifully, as we said. The music playing, the flashback trinkets in Beverly comes on screen. She's a badass with a gun because she has to be, and she's been that way before several times in the original series of TNG. This is nothing new for Beverly. She's always been well-rounded. She's wounded. She has to kill these people who are trying to, who knows what, kill her. We don't know why. She sends a message to Admiral Picard. Picard is with Laris. Beautiful picture of Enterprise D on the wall. Some of the artifacts from the Enterprise we remember. And goodbye, Laris. We'll meet you on a planet someday. Probably never see you again. Communication badge rings out. Captain Picard picks up the badge. Who the hell would send a communication to a 10,000-year-old Enterprise D communicator badge? I don't know why my Picard is terrible right now. I don't know what's wrong with me. Of course, Commander. I called Beverly. I'm sorry. Anyway, Beverly calls Picard, and, he's like, what the hell is this? Message comes up. It's Beverly. She has some coded stuff she's talking about. She says, don't trust anybody, especially Starfleet. And then after she says, don't tell anybody and don't trust anybody, Picard goes and tells Romulus. Laris. Romulan Laris. Romulus. Laris, not Laris, now Laris again. And he tells her that, and he goes, oh, I've got to go meet Beverly. But actually a really good scene. I believe this has got to be an example of how the writing is improved. Because how am I looking at the same characters that I didn't really like before, especially her, and now I thought the scene was a pretty good scene. It's kind of amazing. So now we're 13 minutes in. Picard goes to Riker. Riker's at the Guinan's bar, and the old Enterprise D ships. I love the banter with Riker and Picard. I love the explanation that they added to Best of Both Worlds. It didn't take away from Best of Both Worlds. It added to Best of Both Worlds. And it made me, just feel like Riker and Picard have aged. They're older now. Some people would say Riker's kind of become the more dominant one. And that's kind of what happens in old age. That's even what happens in All Good Things. Picard is the old, retired admiral, like, no, Will, we've got to do this. And Will is like, we can't, Picard, Captain, because da da da. And so Will is kind of assuming this role of, he's the younger one, but the old one's older. So he's sort of, in many ways, the more of the leader now, or they're equals at least. And so that part doesn't bother me, because that's what kind of does happen when you get older. You become less alpha and less dominant. So that it's hard to see Picard as that, though, because we're so used to Captain Picard of this stuff. We're just so used to that domineering Picard that it is a little shocking at times. But Patrick Stewart is much more Picard in season 3 than he really has been mostly in the other 2 seasons. They have a great interaction. They've got to go get a ship. Riker's got an idea. They take off. We see Raffi on the planet. The drug thing, the deal, the twist. I like it. This is probably a better. I still don't like her, but it's because of the taste of the other seasons. But I kind of like where they're going. It seems like they're going for a redemption arc with Raffi, so that makes sense. And I think I like it. And that's what Star Trek is all about: is redemption and redeeming yourself or other people, and that it's maybe never too late sort of thing, and people are better in the future, and Earth is supposed to be a utopia. I don't think that a lot of the writers before Picard season 3 knew that or quite understood that. I don't know, but here it feels like they're getting there with Raffi. Picard and Riker are on this shuttle. I love this scene. Riker is really funny here. This is probably the worst pep that Picard has the whole episode. He's almost asleep on the shuttle. He's like, I don't know about this, Will. Like, he's Patrick Stewart is very quiet here. Like, listen to this. Can we play this? Play like 5 seconds. It's unbelievable. He's like, I don't know about.
I'm not sure about this plan.
Because it's not really a plan, it's a ruse.
I love that, dude. I mean, dude, if Riker doesn't deliver that line like that, but I love it. And I love how, Picard's just sitting there with his hand like, I don't know about this, Will. And I love that Riker jumps in immediately. He's like, because it's not really a plan. It's a ruse, like. Oh, man, this is delivered so well. This is one of my, I know that it's not like it's not supposed to be like laugh out loud funny. It's not a laugh out loud joke. But the way that Riker almost interrupts him to be like, because it's a ruse or it's not a plan, man, I don't know why, but this is one of my favorite interactions of the whole episode.
Sure about this plan?
Because it's not really a plan, it's a ruse.
Yeah.
It's the fact that Riker interrupts himself because because it's not really a plan, it's a ruse. It's just very believable. Man, he delivered that line so well. I don't know. And he might have actually really been stumbling as he said it, and that's what made it so great. I love this. I love this.
I'm not sure about this plan.
Because it's not really a plan, it's a ruse.
Yeah. I don't like.
You and I are too high.
I don't know why. That's one of my favorite interactions there. They come on board. 7 of 9 is there like, hey, what's going on? Let me brighten it up. Hey, what's up? We got to brighten you guys up a little bit. They come on board. 7 of 9 is like, oh, I'm Annika now. And they're like, oh, okay. And she's like, yeah, the captain makes me go by Annika because that's my real name, which is like, this is such a Jellicoe type of thing. You know what I mean? He made Deanna wear a traditional Starfleet uniform and all those type of things. This is very Jellicoe like, Captain Jellicoe, and all the reviewers out there are so quick to jump on this and be like, it's something called dead naming or whatever. It's like, dude, people are so quick to virtue signal so that they can be like, I think that's a bad thing. It's like, shut the fuck up. No, the guy is just trying to, I don't know, maybe there is something to that, but either way, calling her by her regular name, like everybody else, can Riker, can one of the ensigns on the ship just be like, yeah, you know what? My name's Ensign Joanne Jones, but you know what? I'd rather if everybody called me Diamonds. I don't know. That doesn't really go on a ship. But then again, it kind of does. It depends on what part of the you believe in. So there's a little bit of politics in here in a way, but not really. It's just to me, it's nothing. So if people who are all into the weird politicky stuff and SJW stuff want to be like, oh my God, it's dead naming, I know, fine, let them have that. And if it's the people on the right side of things who are like, oh, shut up, that's not real, who cares? Well, they can believe that too. So that's the best thing about this Star Trek is it doesn't beat you over the head with anything. It actually shows you real-life situations, but without beating you over the head with it, like the other two seasons. Although I do believe that Terry Matalas might have come out and said that this had nothing to do with dead naming. It was just part of the story. So, I don't know if that's true. He really said that or not. I could be wrong, and if I am sorry. So here they come on the ship. Riker kind of gives one of these guys a weird look. So it's almost like people are spying on them as they leave. We saw one in the bar. We see one in the hallway here. Riker seems to be up to something to me, and I don't know what it is. It might not even be Riker. This may be a different Riker. I don't know what's going on, but maybe not. Maybe I'm just thinking that. They get on the bridge, 7 of 9, and then they kind of like embarrass Geordie LaForge's daughter. She seems like a sweetheart. I like what I've seen of her so far. The crew seems all right. The ship is dark. Everything is too dark, in my opinion. We've been over that a million times. And then we get to the dinner scene. This is going to be a fucking famous scene. Most people love this scene. Todd Stashwick is amazing here. You hate him. You hate him. You hate him. And it's great. But you can't take your eyes off him. That's the crazy thing. And anybody who doesn't think he's an amazing actor here is got to be out of their minds, in my opinion. Just a phenomenal scene. I would watch this scene over and over again. I don't know why, man. This was well done. For 2023, a scene like this, Red Letter Media loved this scene too, by the way. And those guys are fucking brilliant. So I love it. And then they get denied their request. I know I'm not really going into everything. I'm just quickly going over everything. They get put in the bunk beds. That's great. Raffi's trying to decode a terrorism attack thing and a message. And the Red Queen, we see Captain Garrett later on from Star Trek, Yesterday's Enterprise. That's awesome. Love her. The scene in the barracks are great in the beds, the bunk beds. Seven wakes them up. What the hell's going on? Listen, before I even brought you in here to yell at you, I've already brought you to where you want to be, but I just want to find out what the hell's going on. Why did I just risk my career for you two? It's wonderful. Captain wakes up. What the hell? We're not in the right place. He delivers a line to her that's so friggin' great. When she gets in trouble for this, he's like, you just loyaltied your way out of a career. I want to report on everything they just did. I love it. I don't know if she should be still on the bridge making a report when she's lost her career, but I think that that he's bluffing a bit. To be honest, he doesn't seem like a bluffer or somebody like that, but I feel like he might, and he's justified because his first officer, while he wants someone who can be critical of him and be different than him to be his first officer, he also does need a first officer that is loyal to him. You know, maybe not blindly loyal, but somebody who will back him up. I mean, can you imagine Riker telling Captain Picard, oh, screw it, I just let these people off the ship? You know, so really, from his point of view, you know, Seven kind of stinks right now. You know, so, but she knows she's doing the right thing, so they're going to have to talk. And I think they will. And I think, you know, he'll explain to her. and maybe something will change here. I don't know. Maybe not. But I like that. You just loyaltied your way out of a job or out of a career. Anyway, portal opens up and destroys this museum place. Raffi's like, oh my God, what the fuck? She's talking to somebody who's probably Worf, and he's telling her to be a warrior, unless that's some kind of a red herring, and it's not really what a red herring is, but you know what I mean. Picard, Riker, little nostalgia moment, like this is what we chased for years, scenes like this, and now we missed the chase. And then they arrive at Beverly's ship. Love this beautiful shot here on the ship. I got adrenaline rush. Your legs hurt. As long as we don't have to shoot, we'll be all right. Then they get off the shuttle. They get inside the Beverly's ship. And I love this because Riker says, Captain, over here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, old habits. He calls him Captain, not old habits. With the flashlight. Nobody holds a flashlight like friggin' Riker. Then they meet this mysterious guy. We find out it's Crusher's son, he says. A lot of people think this is Jack Crusher. It's her husband that she cloned or something. They do look similar, but if that's the case, Picard would recognize him then. He'd be like, oh my God, Jack? What the hell have you done, Beverly? That sort of thing. But he doesn't do that. He just looks at him like, oh, you're her son. Wow. But he doesn't go, Jack? Like, Picard would recognize him if that was Jack Crusher. So, most people obviously think it's Picard's son, and maybe that's the case. But, anyway, he's like, all right, they're coming. They change their faces everywhere we go. They have new faces. And then they show up. The bad guys, the big baddies, Vadic's ship. I like the ship. I like this ship. I like the ship. I like the shot. I like the way it ended. The only problem is that we didn't get episode 2 right away. I really think they should have released episode 1 and 2 back to back, but maybe not, because look at the excitement that's been building all week long for this and how amazing it's been. So with that being said, I'm going to give you I now have reviewed this several times because I keep thinking of new things, and I kept it pretty basic here, just running through everything. I've already done a video on some of the negatives and my response to the negatives. And my actual, and a lot of the negatives I think are not valid. I think they're fake or not real or not good enough. My actual negatives are that it's too dark, a little bit too dark. I don't mind it being darker than the show. It's a movie, kind of. But I do think it's too dark. And I think the swearing, I want to watch this with my kids. Just like I watched all Star Trek with my kids. Now, it's not bad enough that I can't watch this with my kids. Let's be honest. Most of your kids are on, like, TikTok hearing worse things. But, yeah, too much shit, and F-bombs are going to be there apparently later. Just don't like that. Maybe a shit or two could have happened, but just, I don't know, whatever. It's not a big deal. These are little critiques. But overall, I think this is going to end up being kind of one of the softer episodes. If that's the case, then we're in for a good ride. Now, I thought about giving this a 6 or a 6.5, but after rewatching it several times and now realizing how fun it's been and the rewatchability of something, even though I know what's coming, I'm going to go ahead and give this baby a 7 out of 10. There you go. I don't think I gave a Picard episode an above a 5 before. I think I gave the other Picard episodes 3s and 4s and shit like that. And here we go. The first 7 out of 10 for Star Trek Picard. I think I might have given a Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I think I might have given them 2 episodes. I gave a 7. And I think the other episodes were all below that. So Star Trek Picard is in the top 3 episodes of new Star Trek that I've seen of the last 5 years. And I think it might actually be one of my favorite pieces. But it's hard to say when it's a part of one of 10 episodes, whereas Strange New Worlds are standalones. So they kind of have the advantage being standalones. But Discovery certainly never got to this point. I think my highest rated Discovery episode was one off Planet One, and then there was another one, the one where it's revealed that they're in the mirror universe, and the one where they Lorca is a bad guy from the Mirror Universe. I think I gave those episodes like 6 out of 10s. So this is the best episode, I think, of Star Trek that I've seen in 5 years. I think I tied this with the first episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. So that is very good. And for me, because I'm very harsh. I am very harsh. And I feel bad. I feel bad being harsh because I know that people put time in their life into art. But I also love this. I love Star Trek, and I get angry at some people if they make something not good, and then they sort of say that, oh, I made it to piss off half the fans. Well, you suck if that's the case, and so I don't mind trashing you in some ways. But Terry Matalas did a wonderful job. I think he's such a cool guy. I don't know if he'll ever speak to me again after something that happened today, because I'm an idiot. But that's what most of my life is like with many people. Could be why I'm still here in Massachusetts and working 3 jobs, and why I left. I only lasted in L.A. for 2 seconds back in 2004. But no, I'm not really. I don't think I'm that bad. But it's wonderful to see great Star Trek. It's beautiful to see great Star Trek, and I know that there are still problems with this, and we are in the honeymoon period, and I did give the first episode of Picard ever, season 1, episode 1. I kind of liked that, and I sort of like gave that a decent rating, I believe. And I was like, okay, let's see what happens, and then it just got worse and worse. But this is better. The opening scene with Data and Picard is a wonderful scene. It's one of my favorite scenes of any new Star Trek as well. But after that scene, the show just starts to go downhill and more downhill, until you get to Riker showing up in the last episode to kick ass, and then it's cool. And then Picard becomes a robot, and then it's not cool again. It's very bad. And then season 2 happens, and it starts, and you're like, okay, and then it gets really bad, and then it gets very bad, and then it gets unwatchable and depressing, and then you want to die, and then it's over. And now here we are. So, yeah. This is Star Trek Late Night. Please let me know what you think. And if you're brand new to the channel, this is a brand new channel. For 10 years, I've been acquiring 72,000 subscribers and 70 million views on my other channel. So help me in this journey of this side channel to grow this to 1,000 subscribers. That'd be nice. Such a small niche audience that I need you guys. I have a little corny sort of what would Enterprise episode or season 5 start like. And that's up. I hope you guys watch it if you're in Enterprise. And maybe in my next video, I'll talk about how I started watching Star Trek and the journey of watching Star Trek from when I was a kid to now, and talk about just that, my experience with Star Trek. If you guys want me to do that, let me know. If not, let me know as well. But I give this a 7 out of 10. Wonderful. Looking forward to episode 2. I will have another review for you guys after episode 2 this week. Probably Thursday night. Here's some other videos now, including that Star Trek Enterprise one, if you want to listen to some cheesiness. A little bit of writing, but cheesy. Enjoy that. And enjoy the other videos popping up. And make sure you subscribe, man, and you guys will help support me.